Lavario, Help Against Addictions. Are you addicted and are you looking for help? There are 3 ways that you can find help. First of all, with a psychotherapist or counselor. Secondly, with a self-help group. Or thirdly, through a self-help program at home. What are the advantages and disadvantages of the different types of help against addiction? First of all, let's have a look at psychotherapists. Psychotherapists are well trained to help you. Through individual sessions between just you and the therapist, he or she can design a treatment that will be perfectly suited to your individual needs. A therapy can last several months or even years. There needs to be a deep trust and honesty between you and the therapist. Therefore, for the therapy to be successful, the personal chemistry between you and the therapist will need to be perfect. As this doesn't always happen, you might want to change the therapist after a while, until you find the right one for you. That's part of the process. Don't worry about it. Counseling with psychotherapists can be expensive, especially if your health insurance doesn't cover the treatment. The cost per hour can easily exceed $100, euros, or pounds. Some people also find it difficult to open up and talk to a complete stranger, especially about this particular addiction problem. On the other hand, it can be easier to talk about it with somebody who doesn't know you. And don't forget, it is their job to listen to problems like yours. They do that all day long. The second option for finding help against addictions is through self-help groups. Here you get together with people who suffer from the same issues and problems as you. They will perfectly understand how you feel. This can be a big advantage, as you might feel more comfortable talking about your problems and sharing your secrets. There is a feeling of community and belonging. There is also some pressure to make progress, as you will report to the others on a regular basis on how everything's going and which steps you have taken since the last meeting. Some of the other members in the group will be able to give you good advice. Most of the self-help groups work with a 12 steps program to overcome the addiction. However, many people find it difficult to give up their bad habits from one day to another. From a scientific point of view, it makes more sense to gradually reduce the addiction over time. Another thing that some people are uncomfortable with is the religious approach of the 12 steps programs. Appreciate, however, that the 12 steps programs have proven successful over decades. In order to benefit from the meetings of self-help groups, obviously you must live in a city where these meetings are available. The third option for you to find help is through self-help programs. Typically, you learn how to break the addiction with ebooks, exercises, and audio files. This can be particularly effective when you are still at an early stage of addiction or when you are afraid to open up to a complete stranger in a counselor's office or in a self-help group. In other words, when you prefer to remain anonymous. On top of that, this type of help is much cheaper than seeing a therapist. The disadvantage is that you don't have anybody to talk to personally, somebody who can answer your very personal questions. However, good self-help programs, such as the Lavario program, offer individual coaching via email. The most renowned program worldwide is the Lavario method. It consists of ebooks with tips and tricks, explanations, useful advice, exercises, and many other useful things that will help you quit the addiction. Parts of the program are also MP3 audiobooks and smartphone applications, so that you have the most important pieces of advice with you, no matter where you are and no matter where the craving might strike you. Individual coaching is also available by email. You download all files from the internet, and therefore you remain completely anonymous. You can start the program immediately. Normally, you break free from your addiction within a few weeks, or you achieve at least a substantial improvement compared to before you began the program. The step-by-step approach of the Lavario program makes it easy to achieve progress quickly. Instead of trying to quit your undesired behavior from one day to another, you reduce it gradually by 20% every week. This is much easier and leads to more sustainable, lasting success. Addiction therapies normally consist of several elements, whether you go to psychotherapists, participate in self-help groups, or do a program at home. There are other videos from us where we deal with that in detail. Visit us at www.lavario.com for more information on how to overcome your addiction.